Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. I want to talk some more boxing today. Shout outs to the whole LBC. If you like this video, please feel free to like the video. And if you want to subscribe to the page, please feel free to subscribe to the page. But you don't have to, as it is always by choice, never by force. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of subjects in boxing right now that are going on. The first and foremost subject is the Errol Spence fight. It looks like the fight with Danny Garcia is official. Looks like it's going to be in October. Looks like it's going to be on pay-per-view, right? So there's a lot of looming questions about the fight, because at the end of the day, Errol Spence was in a car accident where the car was actually turned over, and did some tumbling. And we saw the end result of it, he looked pretty bad. Unfortunately, they showed the picture in the mugshot, you know how they do. But anyhow, he looked pretty bad in the picture. But so the question is now is, will we see the Errol Spence that battered Lamont Peterson? Will we see the Errol Spence who outboxed Mikey Garcia? Will we see the Errol Spence who made it a rough and tough fight versus Sean Porter? Which one are we going to see? Or the real question is, are we going to see either of those? Due to the simple fact that, he went through that accident, And it wasn't just a minor accident, this was a big accident. So it really remains what is going to be seen. Now, as for Danny Garcia, I really don't have any questions in regards to him due to the simple fact that, I'm not trying to even clown on Danny Garcia, but he's like basic fighter. Some of his best wins that he had came from decisions that were given to him. You know what I mean? So in all the fights where he stepped up or where he fought the top dudes, he lost, in every single last one of them. So he's getting a shot at the belts though at 147. And the thing is, even if Earl's got in that car accident, I don't think that the things that, Danny Garcia has for him will really test him. Because, Danny Garcia is known to throw that hook that will catch you, but I think Errol Spence is way too smarter to let that happen. So, it remains to be seen. Respect to Errol Spence for stepping into the fight, right after that incident. He gets a lot of respect for that. Now, another fight that has been brewing, and, there's been a lot of back and forth, and there's been, words exchanged, there's been Twitter photos exchanged and whatnot. It's the Vasily Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez fight. They said that fight is official, it's launched. They're, if I'm not mistaken, looking for a November date. I'm not quite sure. But that fight is done. Now, in terms of that fight, I really could care less, because of the simple fact that both dudes move funny. And I'm not trying to sound biased, and I'm not trying to sound mean or anything like that, or just sound like just a complete like hater, right? But I think what they're trying to do, and I mean, don't quote me on this, but I think they're trying to freeze Devin Haney out of the 135 division, and they want to make him move up to 140 so they won't have to deal with this smoke. Because at the end of the day, man, like if someone came up to me like Devin Haney did Teofimo at that one fight, then that's just an indication that a fight needs to happen between me and the dude who ran into me. And the dude who basically checked the hell out of you. I mean, I remember when that happened. You know, I was like, dang. Like, the energy was completely different. And I was looking at Teofimo like, man, this fool was docile. You know, he let another man basically, you know, take control of the situation in such a way where he had very few words to say, you know. And so it just seems like they're really just trying to lock and freeze this guy out, because Devin Haney was supposed to get the fight with I think it was Luke Campbell or something. He was supposed to get that fight at first. It never did happen for some reason. You know, so you know, Devin Haney is in a kind of tough situation, you know. All he can really do is just spar and get better, you know. But yeah, man, like these guys are all avoiding, just in my opinion, they're all avoiding Devin Haney. You know, even Vasily Lomachenko at this point, I think he sees that, you know, Devin Haney has faster foot speed. You know, Devin Haney is long. You know what I mean? He has very long arms. And also, you know, Devin Haney has the youth on his side. So I really don't think Lomachenko fancies in fighting him. So I think he fancies in fighting the next best thing, which is Teofimo Lopez. I don't know if he sees wrinkles in his game or something that he wants to try to capitalize or what, you know. But that remains to be seen. But I want to talk about something else as well. There's been an ongoing like Twitter beef. There's been an ongoing, basically a back and forth between Terence Crawford and Gary Russell. Now, I guess what happened is there was an altercation in the Olympic Center, and that, you know, there was no discipline there to, you know, keep the peace in essence, you know. So what happened is, I don't know the full scoop, but what happened is that I guess there was a heated argument, you know, and I guess one thing led to another, you know, and they started swinging gloves. They started swinging outside of the boxing gym, and I mean, if Gary Russell was right, a jaw was shattered, you know. That jaw being Terence Crawford, you know. Terence Crawford responds back, of course. I believe he does on a Instagram Live or something like that. But I really don't pay too much attention to his response, you know, and I don't know, man, because like, let's say if Gary Russell does go up, that's a lot to go up, you know, from 130 to I believe 147. And so I don't know if he would be willing to do that. And also, who's to say that that power would, that speed will transition up to the next weight class? You know what I mean? So I don't know, man, but the argument has been pretty heated. Terrence Crawford, who has said he would break his neck, this, that, and the other, you know, and so it's at a very, very serious point, you know, and who knows what will come of it, you know. I don't think a fight will come of it just due to the complete weight difference, you know. But we'll have to wait and see. Now I want to talk about something, last but not least. The thing is that, you know, right now as it stands, I know this is gonna hurt, but doing pay-per-views and charging that much for pay-per-views is all bad. The thing is, people are not really checking for pay-per-views due to the whole COVID thing. People are just checking for the necessities, you know, the basics, due to the simple fact that allegedly this COVID has impacted so many jobs, you know. And so I don't know if people are going to just be overly eager to spend money on these pay-per-views, you know. So that remains to be seen in itself, but I'm just saying that, you know, these fights will be, how should I put it? They're marquee matchups, I should say. However, I guess you can say that when it comes to like doing it on pay-per-view, you know, this is gonna maybe cost like a lot of the demographic, you know, due to coronavirus, you know, how it goes. But anyway, Fool is signing out. Let me know what you think of these fights, you know, coming. You have a couple of these fights coming up, and let me know what y'all think about them, you know. Fool is signing out. Inshallah.